Now I already have a complete agent already built out. And then here are the two different tools that I built out that we just added to the test agent that are also connected up with the existing agent. So the way you do this is you have a traditional trigger. In this case, we have the Telegram bot. We can send it messages from the message here, and then that is going to come in through the trigger and then go into the agent. Again, we can open up this agent and take a look. It's going to look similar to the configuration screen where we have a specific agent that we selected. Here are those system tools, again, that we already added. You're going to pass in a thread ID. This allows you to keep memory. So we're passing in the chat ID from Telegram. That allows the agent to store the memory from the conversation so that it can remember the context of any conversation. And then if we scroll down, we have the message that we send into the agent that is coming from the trigger. And then you're going to want to pay attention to this as well. When you have an agent that runs for more than 3 minutes, they suggest that you use a webhook. The requests I'm using today are pretty simple, so I have this on no, but if you click to yes, it would allow you to add a webhook. And then instead of responding directly, it would fire off that webhook when you are ready. And then of course, this is the response back to Telegram once the agent has figured everything out. The first step of your tool is going to be the action that you want to take. As always, you're going to set up your connection to your Gmail, and then you're going to fill in the placeholders as you normally would. The placeholders are not coming from where we are used to seeing, which is in this here. They're coming from over here. And you can see we have these scenario inputs, body, subject, and to. Right here, you can define the scenario inputs. So you can add these items just like this. And then you can also define the scenario outputs, the ID. So you can see in the response to the agent here, I'm just responding back with the message ID. And then it's going to be very similar to the generate image. We have the OpenAI generate an image module here, and we're also passing it in the prompt. As you can imagine, that's going to be set in your scenario inputs down here. And then you can set up your image outputs, which is the image URL, which you can pass directly into the return output of the agent. We can go ahead and turn on this agent. I'm going to delete the old data. We can jump over to the SGP assistant. Please write Stephen at SGP Labs and email about getting together this weekend. So we can go ahead and put that in, jump back to our agent. We can see it's working here. And what we can also see is it's starting to call the specific tools. And as always, you can dig into the specific information that is flowing through the automation and the response. And then if we come back to the actual run here, you can actually come in here and see the actual execution steps and the detailed information about how the agent made its decision. So we can see all of the different execution steps here and all the little details of how it went about everything that it just did. And then you can see it responded back to Telegram, as you might expect. The email has been successfully sent. Now I am creating just drafts here. So if I come over here, we can see we have a draft meeting up this weekend, and then we have the message to myself.